break or what? This Sunday, November 14th, is World Diabetes Day. Health experts say diabetes has reached epidemic levels in many countries, including right here in the U.S. More than 20 million people worldwide live with diabetes. And within 20 years, believe it or not, that number is expected to grow to 380 million. Rebekah, board member for the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, and her daughter Olivia join us live in studio this morning. First of all, thank you both very much for being here. Olivia, I want to start with you because most of our viewers, I told you this during the break, don't have diabetes and don't know what life is like when you do have diabetes. So can you kind of give us some insight? What is life like for you?
Well, I have to poke my finger or get a needle poked in my finger or arm 3 to 5 times a day at school. And then I have to change my insulin pump site every 2 days, and I also have to change my sensor.
That is a lot of stuff for you to remember, Olivia. What grade are you in?
Second.
Second, and you've got to remember all this stuff. You're just in second grade. Most of your classmates probably don't have all that on their plate, do they? No. Well, good for you for, remembering that and being responsible. It's not an easy thing for a second grader to do. Rebekah, why is it important? This is World Diabetes Day. Why is it so important to raise awareness?
I think, as you said, diabetes is reaching epidemic proportions. I think also for people to understand the difference between type 1 and type 2. I know before Olivia was diagnosed, I probably had a very rudimentary understanding of that. But for people to take the time and really understand what it's like for people to live with this every day. It's a chronic illness. It doesn't go away. There is no cure.
Right. Talk about, you just mentioned the difference between type 1 and type 2. And like you said, you, before Olivia was diagnosed, had a very basic understanding, as do I. So can you explain for me and for our viewers at home, what is the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes?
Again, at a very high level, type 1 is an autoimmune disease where Olivia's immune system recognized the cells in her pancreas that produce insulin as foreign and killed those. So she does not produce insulin at all. We know that there is a genetic factor and an environmental factor to that. We're still trying to figure out exactly what that is. On type 2, typically that's through diet and exercise that you have inhibited those cells as far as how they produce insulin. They don't work as well. And oftentimes you can improve with diet and exercise. Again, it's not a cure, but improve. Olivia doesn't have that option. She has to give herself either shots or injections through her insulin pump site numerous times a day.
So type 2 is what we often hear as adult onset.
Exactly.
Okay.
And type 1 is often referred to as juvenile diabetes because typically people are diagnosed with that when they are children.
What's the biggest misconception, and I guess this is a question for both of you, what's the biggest wrong impression that people have about diabetes that you've come across? Olivia, I'll start with you. Do your friends ever say, well, they thought diabetes was this, or what's the biggest mistake do you think people have about diabetes?
They think I got diabetes because I ate too much sugar.
Oh, interesting. So they think it's because of what you ate. But obviously that's not the case. She has type 1 diabetes. What have you found is the biggest misconception?
I think the difference between type 1 and type 2, I think also the biggest misconception is, when is she going to level off? When is this going to even off? When is her body going to kind of regulate this? It doesn't work that way. Right. Olivia will be doing this. She was diagnosed at 2. She'll be doing it her entire life. Every day is different, every 2 hours is different. So you have to be flexible and not know exactly what you're going to get and just live life, which is how we do it.
Well, it looks like you are, and it sounds like you certainly are, Olivia. Thank you both so much for joining us this morning and talking about it. Thanks, Olivia, for being here. You did great, kiddo. We'll be right back. You're watching Fox 31. Thank you.